All right, what's up, everybody? This is some pretty amazing cutting-edge stuff, and I want to show it to you. Welcome to the latest version of Fluid Ninja. And if you don't know what this is cutting-edge, highly performant fluid simulation for Unreal Engine that can do a whole bunch of absolutely incredible stuff. And the coolest thing about this is you can actually download this and play around with the sandbox yourself, or if you're a game developer, you can take this tech and you can utilize it in your own game. Now, before we go any further, I do want to say I have another YouTube channel, and if you guys could go subscribe to that right now, I'm actually going to have a link to download this demo on that channel. So please follow the link down below, go subscribe to my second channel, and go and download this demo. It's absolutely worth it. And there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm going to be covering on the channel that I think you guys are going to love to see. Now, if you've never heard of this project before, this is basically a really high-end but very efficient particle simulation system that can simulate gases, fluids, and all sorts of different combinations of these different materials. But the biggest difference between this and many other particle systems is that these are entirely dynamic. So if you see this piece of gas, this isn't just like a sprite or an animation. This is actual dynamic gas simulation. I can take my mouse cursor and I can sit here and I can mess around with the smoke. I can mess around with the gas. I can change all sorts of different parameters, and this is going to create an entirely dynamic field where you can either simulate fluids or gas, or you could have different types of gases, fluids, and solids all interacting with one another at the same time. And unlike other fluid simulation software where you might need a super beefy computer, or you can only use it to simulate very small amounts of liquid because it takes so much processing power, Fluid Ninja, you can literally simulate an entire goddamn ocean. So, have you ever wanted to have your own Sea of Thieves game? Guess what? You can. You want to have dynamic fire or literally any other form of matter for your game that is rendered in a really convincing and performant way? You can. I mean, you could use this to create spell effects. You could use this to create buildings that are on fire. You can use this to create oceans. You can use this to create dynamic cloud cover with clouds that actually change shape and move across the sky realistically. The amount of things that you can do with this is literally insane, my dude. And to show this off, I think one of the coolest showcases about this is the hover sphere demo, where you've got this like weird science fiction-y sphere and it's hovering over this grass. And I want you to just look and take in how many elements are coming together to make this really cool effect. You've got the grass on the ground, which is powered by Fluid Ninja, actually bending by the force of the wind. And then you've got pieces of grass getting ripped up and blowing in the direction of the wind. I mean, that's not just like a random particle effect. Notice how the grass is like coming up and swirling around the ship like a tornado realistically. That's not just like, oh, they're just coming up and randomly going in any direction. They're actually following the path of the wind. And you can see how like there's this natural organic tornado effect of the gas itself as it comes down through the thruster and then billows back up around the sphere. I mean, stuff like this you cannot fake. You have to use something like Fluid Ninja that's actually going to do proper simulation of these gases and of this foliage and of all of these different VFX elements that aren't just little tricks of the light. Like, this is actual simulation, but done in a really clean, performant way, so you can have it all running together in real time for a video game. And that is just so rare. I can't think of very many other things, if anything, that runs this well, that has this much detail regarding these simulations that you can just go and pick up off the marketplace. I can't think of anything. But look at this. Look at how cool this is. Think about how awesome this would be if this was used in something like Squad. Imagine if like a helicopter comes down and it's hovering over the grass while, I don't know, you're rappelling down, or it's like, you know, deploying a squad and the grass actually blows away and gets billowed up. Imagine how cinematic that would be. But the thing is that you don't have to just use this for vehicles. You don't have to just use this for oceans. You can get really creative with how you utilize everything. So I'm going to actually show you some of these smaller demos here to just kind of give you an idea of the kinds of things that you can create. Now, like I said before, all of these things are dynamic. So you can interact, you can impact all of these. They will interact with both you as a player, so you can sit here and fiddle with it, or it'll also react to the environment. So like if you were in a building, or if there's a wall, or if there's a ceiling, it'll actually, the smoke will fill up the room. It'll actually pass around the ceiling. If you put water in a bowl, it'll fill up the bowl. If you drop stuff in the bowl, it's going to create, you know, little splashes and stuff like that. But I think the coolest thing is that none of these things are static. So look at this bowl of water. You can actually push this bowl around, and you'll see that not only can you fill this bowl with water, but in addition to that, when you push the bowl itself, you can actually move this volume of liquid elsewhere in the map. And that isn't just the case with water. You can do that with anything else. So you can see like this gas, this campfire, I don't know, ethereal spectral thing. You can not only mess around with this with your cursor, but you can also push the source of it around, which means like, I don't know, if there's a car that's on fire and it's moving around, like the flames will actually follow it as it, I don't know, crashes into a wall. Or if there's like a plane that gets shot down, the fire will actually billow out from behind the plane. So the point is these aren't just static systems. And I think this is the best showcase of that. Here we've got this nozzle that is just spewing fire. And you can move both this wall and this nozzle around to the point where this nozzle will actually like push over this block purely from the force of the fire. And all of these different pieces of gas and smoke will collide with whatever it comes in contact with. So you could imagine using this to create, like, I don't know, a flamethrower weapon. In fact, you kind of can right here. Look, I can actually grab a piece of this smoke. Look at this. I got this little smoke right here on my mouse cursor, and I can move this around. So literally right there, you could use this to create a flamethrower weapon. And not only would it be a really cool looking flamethrower weapon, but it would actually interact with the environment around it, with the flames running up the wall, or maybe even pushing down boxes or other things from the force of the flame itself. So all of these things and significantly more is possible with this. I cannot recommend playing around with this enough. It's really cool. Even if you're not a game developer, it's fun. It's super cool to think about and play around with. I highly recommend going and getting it. I mean, you can download the demo for free. And I mean, actually, last I checked, I think they were doing like a free month for this on the Unreal Engine Marketplace. So you might even be able to get it for free right now, depending on when you're watching this video. But I think that this is worth checking out no matter who you are. Besides that, I hope you enjoy these videos. I hope you enjoy all of these things that I show you. Really cool cutting edge development stuff. I know I haven't really been covering as much of the Unreal Engine stuff because I've been focusing a lot more on some of the new tactical shooters that have been coming out and some other game dev stuff, but I really still do enjoy all of these different development tools that people are making, and I love showing them off to you. If you want to keep track of these things and follow my other channel, please, again, subscribe down below, links down below. In fact, I'll go ahead and I'll have a link to this on my other channel, and you can go subscribe to me there. Besides that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.